FPL Game Week 6 wildcard team selection. My wildcard chip is in fact active, as I hinted earlier this week. So in today's video, we'll be going through how my wildcard is shaping up ahead of Game Week 6 deadline tomorrow. Also, in addition to how my Game Week 5 went with the bench boost. Heads up, it was a green arrow. And of course, some news as well on the injury front as well. So if you enjoyed the video, make sure you smash that like button and hit that subscribe. And let's get into it. What's up? It's FPL Vert, where arrows go green, and as you can see, for the first time in 5 game weeks, we've gotten a green arrow. Yeah. It wasn't easy though. The safety score was 42 points and I scored 42 points, which means the bench boost was a masterstroke on my part, if I do say so myself, especially as Dubravka, who I benched, got 2 extra save points for making 6 saves. Estev got his DEFCON, and Tajani Reinders, who was actually last on my bench, because I actually do see my bench boost has it would have been Tajani was last on my bench. Probably should have had him first bench really, considering that he's an attacker. But yeah, he got an assist, he got his DEFCON for a 9-pointer, which really boosted my rank. So thank you very much to Tajani Reinders. But if we look at the first team that actually started, an absolute massive thumbs down. It's in complete disarray. Sanchez -3. I don't know why I keep falling for him. He's like a Ponzi scheme. I watch him play games and I'm like, he's a terrible goalkeeper, and then I pick him in my team. Fell for it again. Munoz didn't keep a clean sheet. Anderson got his DEFCON, so he's in my good books, and you can probably tell he's going to be staying in my wildcard. Pedro Porro's not delivering the goods for premium. Salah got an assist, but no bonus. Verts didn't even start, came off the bench and got yellow for a massive 0-point return. Dango Tara again benched, unreal. Rogers and Watkins just continue to be awful, and Watkins even missed a penalty in the Europa League, so they're just completely out of form now. Joao Pedro obviously is in my good books as well, and then Wood, very tentative situation for him as Igor Jesus keeps scoring goals. So as you can tell, and I've already mentioned as well, the wildcard is active, and I think only, what, 4 players? No, 3 players keep their spot. So yeah, we'll talk about that, but just before we go into that, we'll go into some injury news. So just to cover a few questions before game week 6, the number 1 question, which was the question obviously because he was flagged, was around Erling Haaland's availability, but Pep didn't even bother to be vague as he usually, he just said he's ready. So if you want to triple captain, I'd be all for it. I would be probably on triple captain as well if my wildcard wasn't active, but my squad was in terrible shape, so it is active. He also mentioned that it's too early for Aït-Nouri, Cherki and Marmoush, and he said Kovacic is a maybe, but I don't think that's very FPL relevant, so I left it out in terms of the text. And then of course, Hugo Ekitike, he scored on Tuesday in the Carabao Cup against Southampton, who happened to be in the Championship. He took his shirt off to celebrate, and he received a second yellow card, so he's now suspended for game week 6 for the trip to Crystal Palace. So many people were wondering, is Isak going to start? It sounds like he will be, because Slot mentioned that he's further into his preseason now, and normally after 2 weeks of preseason you would bring a player to 60 to 70 minutes. So yeah, you're probably going to much expect around 70 minutes as the absolute maximum for Isak tomorrow for Liverpool. And then the major news of today is that Palmer's actually going to be out until game week 8. Maresca said that they're going to rest him for 2-3 weeks probably until after the international break, which is game week 8. So yeah, I would not be looking at Palmer. I mean, most people would have sold him by now, but yeah, he's just going to keep going down in price. So no to Palmer. And also around Chelsea, Tosin is injured, as is Fofana's got a concussion, so he's out for 12 days as per the protocol. As for the game week 6 captain, my options are Erling Haaland and Erling Haaland. No one else is the captain option this week. Just don't even bother. Man City at home, 3 o'clock kickoff, hosting Burnley, who have conceded the most shots, the most XG, and the current leading goal scorer in the Golden Boot. There's only one captain this week. Don't go fancy with it. So without further ado, into my game week 6 wildcard team selection. And starting in goal, we've got a new face, thank goodness. No more no more Robert Sanchez, Blob Sanchez as I like to call him. I even have a slander name for him and I still put him in my team. But anyway, David Raya travels to Tyneside for the Super Sunday showpiece as Newcastle host Arsenal. It's probably not the best entry point for Arsenal, but the Magpies actually have failed to score in 5 of their last 7 league matches. So if there's ever a defence that can keep them out, it would definitely be Arsenal. Then Marcus Senesi finally joins my team as well, having actually been on my number 1 defender for each of the first verified watch lists starting from game week 2. So I guess I was actually early to the party. But anyway, Bournemouth travelled to Leeds United as the Argentine will look to continue his streak of recording DEFCON in each game so far. And he's combined 3 clean sheets with an assist, so let's hope he can add to that this week. Gabriel Magalhaes follows Raya to St James Park in the match against Newcastle. As mentioned, Newcastle actually scoreless in 5 of their last 7 in the Premier League, and Arsenal have conceded just 1 big chance so far. So let's hope for a tight game. 1-0 to the Arsenal with a Gabriel goal from a set piece. Who says no? Now, Trevor Chalobah, my fellow Sierra Leonean brother, he comes in to game week 6 as the current highest scoring defender in the whole of FPL. He has yet to blank this season, keeping 2 clean sheets, scoring twice, supplying an assist, as well as recording DEFCON in each of the past 3 games. So considering Chelsea's fixtures from game week 9 up until game week 16 are especially appealing, owning him from now will save me valuable free transfers. I also just cannot see the hype with James Tarkowski. He's an extra 0.4 million. He's playing for the league's current 8th worst defence in terms of XGC, expected goals conceded. And he hasn't even taken a shot in each of the past 4 game weeks in terms of like any goal threat. So considering that DEFCON is capped at 2 points, I'm not going to be paying 5.5 million for an Everton defender, especially when this one does get DEFCON and does the other stuff as well, including, you know, clean sheets and getting goals. So no to Tarkowski, yes to Chalobah. At least I can differentiate myself from the template here, right? Antoine Semenyo is leading the way for midfielders in FPL this season with 3 goals, 2 assists and 41 points. He boasts the most shots in the box and big chances across all midfielders. In fact, only Haaland has more big chances across all the positions. But Leeds are yet to concede a goal at Elland Road in the league this season. Bruno has provided the most key passes in the league so far, and he travels to West London to face a Brentford side that have conceded the 3rd most goals in the league. Manchester United top the XG charts for the league, and only Semenyo and Mbeumo have taken more shots across midfielders than my Portuguese Magnifico. Bruno, he came from Sporting like Cristiano. Anyway, Tijani Reinders, he was my hero last game week, returning 9 while being last on my bench. Almost serves me right, but the bench boost was active, so we take that all day long. Only Haaland has attempted more shots at Man City this season across all the other teammates, and only Forest and West Ham have conceded more big chances than Burnley. So, I'm excited to own him this week. Illiman and Dye comes in as well. He's found 3 attacking returns in the form of 2 goals and 1 assist in the last 4 game weeks, while also taking the most shots on target at Everton. Meanwhile, West Ham, on the other hand, have conceded the most goals and the most big chances in that same period. So, let's hope for some points. Victor Gyökeres will be hoping to fire in his first away league goal for the Gunners on Sunday as Arsenal travel to Newcastle. And as mentioned, it's not the best entry point as the Magpies have actually kept a clean sheet in each of their last 3 league matches. But the Geordies have conceded in each of their last 2 home matches in all competitions, most recently against Bradford in the League Cup this week, as well as shipping 2 to Barcelona in the Champions League the week before. The real attraction is owning the current holder of the Gerd Müller Trophy for Arsenal's fixtures from Game Week 7, which starts with the welcome of West Ham. So anything here is a bonus as far as I'm concerned, so I'm sure he can do something good. Erling Haaland is the one and only captain option this week. Any fear of injury has been eased because Pep has said so, and he was also pictured in training. He's the league's leading goal scorer. He's taken the most shots in the box. He's also leading the league for big chances. And finally, Joao Pedro welcomes his ex-club Brighton to his new club. The Seagulls have not fared too well in their travels this season. They've lost both and conceded twice on both occasions. So I'm quite hopeful that Pedro can do something, especially with Palmer now out until after the international break. He should hopefully be on penalties. And then just a quick word on my bench. Yeah, Anton Stack, you can say it is knee-jerky, but the other 5 mil option that I would have looked at is Dewsbury Hall, and he's got 4 yellow cards already, so I'm not going there. And of course, he did put in a 15-pointer, from scoring a free kick, getting an assist, getting DEFCON. I mean, what's not to like at 5 million? Anderson is going to survive, even though Fulham's fixtures aren't good, because Anderson's gotten DEFCON in all but 1 match this season. And then Richards is here because Crystal Palace's fixtures are just superb from game week 10 to game week 30. And, if you're activating your wildcard in game week 6, ideally I don't really want to be using it until game week 30. So a little bit of long-term planning here. But I need to stack as many free transfers as possible to combat the wildcard windows in game week 8 and game week 13. So this is how we're going to be setting up. I appreciate it's probably quite tempting template. You've probably seen this team 1,000 times. But as mentioned, I'm not even trying to just be different. I actually do not see it with James Tarkowski at all. So hopefully, my Sierra Leonean, my Salon brother, Trevor Chalobah, he can score DEFCON or just outscore Tarkowski. Or maybe the 0.4 saving is going to aid me elsewhere. So that's the team for this week. Drop any questions you have into the comments, and you can reach out to me on Instagram or Twitter or Blue Sky, and I'll reply before the deadline. So thanks for watching. Good luck this week, and hopefully we can get back-to-back green arrows before Amram can get back-to-back league wins, maybe. See you guys.